Warren Buffett made a mistake. Just one mistake, but it cost him most of his life. It's all about the snowball. When Warren was 10 years old, he read a book, 1,000 Ways to Make $1,000. Not important. What was important, it explained compound interest, how a tiny bit of money saved now will almost magically expand over years into a snowball. It was 1941, post-Great Depression, World War II era, and Warren announced to his buddy Stu Erickson that he would become a millionaire by age 35. Stu said, "What, are you stupid? You're poor and the world is ending by age 30. Buffett was alive and a millionaire. He lived his entire life for that future snowball, not the present. He wouldn't spend a second or a cent without considering what it could snowball into one day far away. The same snowball that made him rich was also a curse. He who dies rich dies disgraced." At age 8 or 9, Warren was already studying Dale Carnegie. He took the lessons to make money. It worked, but thought about that end goal, F that, I'm dying rich and disgraced. He went rogue. To spend time or money on anyone today would be a tragedy. Warren did the math. Why give away anything now when years from now, that snowball could change the entire world? They can have it when I'm dead. Warren, those are your children. You recognize them, don't you? That was the running joke among his friends in 1960 in reference to his obsession with money and his obliviousness to his family. The snowball was more important. After he became absurdly rich, people would say things like, "There's a drought in, say, Botswana. Babies will die right now, Warren, if you don't donate a few bucks." Warren would say, first of all, why save a few babies today when over time I could save millions of Nah, actually I could snowball that money into doing the exact opposite. Population control. Buffett was so cheap, he didn't want new babies spending all of Earth's resources. Joking, but not joking, overpopulation was his top philanthropic concern back then, but that could wait until after he was dead. Why stop a few babies when you could stop a snowball of babies tomorrow? Nobody was getting a cent today, not even himself. When he was the second richest man in the world, he took the richest man in the world to lunch, and his 10-year-old town car wouldn't start. It spelled out thrifty on the license plate. When he was in his 20s, already rich, he didn't own a car. He would just borrow the neighbor's car and not fill it up. Disgraceful. In 1956, he could buy a house with cash, but instead he rented a tiny cottage where Susie, his wife, would walk across the street to fetch water from a stream to give the kids a cold shower. Warren, that's ice cold. He bought his first home in 1957 for $31,000. 70 years later, he's still in it, still sleeping on a cheap mattress and eating the same McDonald's. Throughout his entire life, this absurd level of savings compounded could make just about anyone insanely rich. The problem was he would compound calculate everything. A cup of coffee, movie theater popcorn. Sorry kids, millionaire daddy says no. Okay, nobody's arguing with that. Movie theater popcorn is highway robbery. But why spend time going to the movies with the kids in the first place when daddy's growing a snowball? He lived his whole life for that snowball, but one day, as he approached becoming the world's richest man, he was writing a rent check to pay for his wife's boyfriend's apartment, and he thought, what's the point of all this money? He paid for so many tennis lessons, and for what? His wife was no better at tennis, and now he was paying for her apartment in San Francisco and another apartment for her tennis coach too. Warren would eventually come to explain that whatever he did to make Susie leave was his biggest mistake. You know what you did. Did you see the post where they uncovered the lies of the Vietnam War? That was Kay Graham, the owner of the Washington Post, back when journalists did things. Fantastic movie. Long story short, Warren invested in the Post, fell in love somewhat publicly with Kay Graham, which caused Susie Buffett, his wife, to fall in love with her tennis coach. And she sent her friend Astrid Menks to do wifely duties in Omaha. Warren could make millions, but he couldn't make a sandwich. Astrid took that job very seriously, you understand what I'm saying, while Susie remained the wife outside of Omaha. If you knew the people involved, you'd see that it suited all of us quite well, Warren said. Sure, Warren, sure. If I ever become a billionaire and my wife tells me it's cool just to sleep with other people, I'll know it's a trick. Sadly, Susie Buffett, who was a huge philanthropist throughout this entire book, she did a lot of great things, passed away in 2004. In 2006, Warren then decided to not wait until death, to not die a disgrace, and pledged to start giving away 85% of his wealth. It was more money than had ever been given away in history. He also changed his goals on overpopulation from population control, which was his top philanthropic concern, disgraceful, to reproductive rights. Same goal, but instead of people calling you a monster, they call you a women's rights hero, and nobody criticizes your oil companies anymore. Buffett completely changed his life and his purpose of life. It's no longer all about the snowball. He now says the purpose of life is to be loved by as many people as possible among those you want to have love you. That's beautiful. But that's not how Buffett became the richest man on earth. He did it by putting the snowball first. With this love attitude, he lost that rank to people like Jeff Bezos, the new owner of the Washington Post, who keeps his eye on the snowball. You need to think like Jeff. You can always get a divorce, start lifting weights, and focus on important things. Have real goals, like buying a $500 million mega yacht. Stop caring about what people think about you. Kill all the fish, destroy the world, then have the newspaper you bought claim you're an environmentalist. That's the secret to wealth. Or you could invest, save moderate amounts of money, snowball it into the S&P 500, retire a millionaire, not the richest person, but have wonderful relationships. Take your kids to the movies, buy them popcorn, and die loved. Up to you. I would rather see you become the richest person on earth, but either way, I believe in you.